so it's like 11ish here at night, and I have not vlogged at all today or yesterday. But I decided I don't necessarily I couldn't have vlogged this because, well, I was driving. So, but I decided I should share it because it was kind of insane. Like, it was literally one after another. So today I was driving to Safeway, which is a grocery store, and it's not even that far from here. Like, literally, it's over there. And so I was driving to go get tea because I was out of tea, which is sad. And so I was driving, and I was turning, and I turned, and this car was in front of me because they were merging, and they merged over, and they had their turn signal on, still showing that they were merging over even though they were still continuing straight. And I was like, okay, a little weird, you know, maybe they were, and I was like, because there's nowhere to turn on that side, which was right. And then they were going kind of slow, and then they turned their turn signal on to go left, and they pulled off to the side of the road. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, that's weird. And a good person would have pulled over, and I'm a good person, but the thing is, I was alone with my little sister, and I didn't feel comfortable necessarily pulling off on the side of the road with a car that was kind of sketchy, that was going slow, kind of not swerving, and it wasn't like a drunk swerving, you know, like, or like, oh, I'm an idiot swerving. But I mean, and they had the turn signal, and they weren't driving, and I was like, I'm alone. I don't want to attempt to go and talk to other people. So I passed, and I kept going, and I felt kind of bad, but then I was like, I don't want to be kidnapped. I don't want to die. So there was that. And then we have roundabouts, and I'm really hoping people know what those are. But if you don't, it's like the circle, and instead of like a four-way stop, you have a roundabout, and you go around in the circle. And so anyways, I was at one of those, and no one here wants to use their turn signal to tell you, hey, you know, I'm exiting here, so you know you can go. So I was sitting there, and all the cars, they'd either keep going around, and then, or some of them would turn, and there was like so many cars on the other side, so they were like one after another, and they wouldn't signal when they were turning off, so I didn't know when anyone was going. And when I did know, it was too late to actually pull out in front of him. So the guy behind me honked at me, which was weird. And he got mad at me, and I felt bad again because, you know, I don't like to be honked at, and I don't like people being mad at me because that's always a sketchy situation. And so finally I could go because there was a big break, like 2 cars ended up turning. Luckily, I think one of them used a turn signal, which is the only way I knew how. They were turning, and so I could go. And so eventually, finally got to Safeway. These 2 things happened before I even reached Safeway, and I was like, okay, I'm done with people. This is why I don't leave my room. This is why I'm not a people person. This is why I don't like people. And so got out. We were walking in, all good. And even before we get in, car starts pulling out, and I was like, okay, the car pulling out, parking lot, whatever, no big deal. Didn't look at us, didn't see us. We were fine. We were far enough away. Wouldn't have been hit. All good. Car decides, oh, wait a minute. There's a person. Finally realizing we're there. And he stops. And I'm like, no, dude, come on, keep going. Like, signaling for him to, like, keep pulling out. You know, we're just walking up there. We have no big deal. No big rush. And he sits there, and he stays, and he stays, and he stays. And I'm like, okay, we're done. We're not going to sit here and whatever and just watch each other. And, like, one of us needs to move. So went all the way on to the other side of the parking lot. Well, not the other side, but the other side of the lane. And I kept walking. And I don't know what happened to this guy. I'm assuming he eventually pulled out. Maybe. Finally got into Safeway. And he's like, just need to get some tea. That's all I wanted. Nothing else. But already, bit of an adventure. Pretty exciting. Not really. Once again. So I got there. Sadly, they only had 1 jug of my tea, which was depressing. But I got tea. At least it wasn't completely a mess up failure. Nothing. Nada. I didn't leave empty-handed. And so, paid, blah, 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 blah. Did all that fun stuff. Was walking out with my tea. Going to the car. And there's this couple on a motorcycle. They go, hey! I'm like, oh, okay. This is bad. This could be bad. They're like, can you tell us how to get to Walmart? I'm like, oh, directions. Okay, cool. And then, of course, I realized I don't even know how to get around my own town. I've only lived here like a couple of years, like 4. I don't know directions. I don't know street names. I don't know anything. But I can't just be like, let me blow off some people, because it's rude. And I was like, okay, I can get them to Walmart. And so, me, being my awkward self, was attempting to explain to them that they needed to turn out onto this road and go around the roundabout and turn left and go out towards this one road and just go straight down it. And they'd eventually hit it. And they were like, oh, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're so nice, and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, no big deal. And I was putting the tea in the car, and I went, I sent them the wrong way. I sent them to the mall. I didn't send them to Walmart. And I was like, I tried so hard to give them directions. Like, I was mentally plotting out this map in my mind, and I was like, I've got this. Like, I've got this. And it was wrong. And I was like, but if they get to the mall, they're going to have to backtrack a little, but they will reach Walmart. It's kind of, they'll get to the mall and big loop around and more straight driving, but they'd get there. Or they could just go to Target that was in the mall, but Walmart is cheaper, not gonna lie. I felt really bad, so I was driving back and I was like, I sent these people the wrong way, I was honked at today, there was this other car, and I was like, I just want to get home. I'm done with people. I just can't deal with people. So, got home, no problems, luckily. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been good. So yeah, that was my exciting story just to get tea. Literally should have taken, it was about 10 minutes tops, maybe 15. We're gonna average 15 because I was at the roundabout forever and I had to give directions. So that was my excitement for the day. That really makes my life sound kind of sad. That's the most exciting thing that happened in my day. But yeah, I don't know how to end little snippets of vlogs, so yeah, thanks. That was the trip to Safeway.